I generally thought it was impossible for me to do a one-arm pull-up. I basically given up, but look at this. I could do the one-arm pull-up now. Now, these are all obviously just my opinions on how to do the one-arm pull-up. Now, even though they're very true and honest, these are just my opinions. Losing weight to do a body weight exercise makes sense, right? When you do assisted one-arm pull-ups, the assistance is used to take weight off of your body, correct? Now, what would happen if that assistance was just simply taken off of your body entirely? Instead of having to use 10 additional pounds of assistance to do the one-arm pull-up, just eliminate it from your body, and if math checks out, you should still go up. Maybe you're thinking, if I lose weight, I'll also lose my pulling strength. But likewise, shouldn't it also make sense if you gain weight, you should gain your pulling strength? Now, the difficult part is that the one-arm pull-up is a body weight exercise, a strength to weight ratio type of ordeal, and thus losing weight will gain you more pound per pound pulling strength than maintaining it. And from personal experience, throughout my entire climbing career, I'm the lightest I've ever been, but my pulling strength is also the highest it's ever been. And I want to stress that the one-arm pull-up is not a technical skill, because everyone knows how to do the one-arm pull-up. You want to rotate into your shoulder, you want to have a slight lean when you first begin, all that good shenanigan. And everyone could perform this technique on the ground with great assistance or in the air with great assistance. So if everyone knows the technique, then how come people still can't do the one-arm pull-up? And the answer is actually pretty simple. It's because it's not about technique, it's about raw pulling power pound per pound. That's all there is to it, really. Be super strong for your body weight, or just don't have a lot of body weight. Now let's talk about one-arm negatives, and I'm not going front. I don't think I've ever successfully completed a complete one-arm negative until after I was able to do a one-arm pull-up. Anytime I tried it before I could do a one-arm pull-up, it always ended with me stopping short by using my feet or just letting go of the bar entirely because I didn't want to break my shoulders in half. Therefore, I think the one-arm negative is a very weird exercise to recommend. Weighted pull-ups, are they effective for doing the one-arm pull-up? And from my experience, I gotta tell you, I don't know, because some say you should be able to do 150% of your body weight for 5 reps before you can do the one-arm pull-up. Or is it, if you could do the one-arm pull-up, you should be able to rep out 150% of your body weight? Because also in my experience, when I dropped body weight, my weighted pull-ups also shot up. Because say for example, and let's use pretty numbers, I used to weigh 100 pounds. My max pull-ups for 5 reps was 40 pounds for 5 reps. I lost 10 pounds, now I sit at 90 pounds. However, my max pull-ups now is 50 pounds for 5 reps. The only thing that changed here was the placement of the weight. Instead of it being on my body, it's now on the belt instead. But besides that, my overall pulling strength, pulling power total remained the same. So it begs the question, did the chicken come first or did the egg, right? Because to me, all these different pull-up variations and methods to do the one-arm pull-up, it sounds like there should be a linear progression, right? If you do this, and then the one-arm pull-up will happen. But more often than not, it sounds like it's been reverse engineered and the engineer isn't there anymore. So I concluded that the reason why the one-arm pull-up is so elusive is because it is super hard to do. No surprise. It is basically a 1 rep max that shouldn't be touched unless you have that 1 rep max strength, but everyone keeps trying it, including me. Let me make it make sense. Let's pretend you want to bench press 315 pounds. That's the one-arm pull-up. But you can't even bench press 135 pounds, but you still keep trying to bench press 315 pounds with 5 spotters, hoping that one day it will work out somehow. Do you see how idiotic that plan of attack is? You're very likely to injure yourself. You're very likely to demoralize yourself because you're trying to do something that you can't even comprehend yet. Now, that was one-arm pull-up advice from a perspective of if you weigh a little bit too much. So what do? You're paper thin and you can't afford to lose weight? Well, let me give you just some quick advice that I have made up right now, right here. And who knows, maybe it works, maybe it doesn't, but I'll explain. First off, 20 pull-ups. 20 pull-ups in a row. 20 good pull-ups in a row. And you may be thinking that 20 pull-ups is insane. And I'm here to tell you that the one-arm pull-up is even more insane. You may be thinking that you're training for strength, so why do you need to do all this endurance stuff? And it's because you can't do the one-arm pull-up. That's why. At best, you could do a few pull-ups. So we're going to take that small amount of pull-ups you can do, amplify it. Along the way, we're also going to condition your joints and your skeletal system to be able to withstand the amount of pulling pressure that you're going to need to have it be able to absorb in the future. Basically, you're building a foundation of strength. All right, now as for the method of doing these 20 pull-ups, there's a countless tutorials out there that actually, all of them, they work pretty well, unlike the one-arm pull-up tutorials out there. So just select one of those, do it, and once you have 20 pull-ups in a row, second step, you're going to strengthen your shoulders by doing some scapula shrugs with straight arms. Not only does this accustom you to hanging with one arm, it also so desperately strengthens the bottom range of that one-arm pull-up, which is very important if you wish to do a full, good-looking one-arm pull-up. In accordance with this, also start working on your 90-degree lock-offs. This, much like how one arm dead hangs are. It just helps you feel the weight in one hand while in a different range of motion. And then also it is that time to replace your regular pull-ups with weighted pull-ups. I recommend 5 reps because 5 is enough for you to struggle, but it's not so much that you immediately get shut down after the first rep. And honestly, I hate to say this because I can't think of any other way to test this out when you're ready, but once you could do about 5 reps at 150% of your body weight, try to do a 1-arm pull-up. If you find that you still can't do it after a couple attempts, after you try for 2 or 3 weeks, maybe it's time to start looking at your weight instead and drop from there. And that's it. Maybe this helped, maybe it didn't. It probably didn't, honestly. But who knows? 1-arm pull-ups, they're complicated. Overall, I say lose weight. That's probably the most important thing. And I'll see you next time, partner.